It's hard to feel truly optimistic about the future of DUNE Awakening when a significant portion of the discourse revolves around a litany of persistent issues. Take, for instance, the rather inventive, if frustrating, phenomena of ornithopter griefing, affectionately dubbed Goomba Stomp. This involved players intentionally landing their ornithopters on top of other players' ornithopters, effectively pinning them down until a hungry sandworm arrives to finish the job. While the public test client is set to go live around August 12 with changes that imply an impulse to colliding ornithopters to separate them, directly aiming to mitigate this, it's a stark reminder of the fundamental player interaction issues that have plagued the game since launch. Beyond the aerial acrobatics of griefing, the ground game has its own share of frustrations, particularly with the deep desert, which has become a focal point of community discontent for both PvP and PvE players. On the PvP side, many feel that deep desert experience is a watered down version of what it could be, often devolving into a rockethopter meta where combat is impersonal and dominated by aerial engagements, leaving little room for the game's melee system or true combined arms tactics. Despite its designation as a PvP zone, some players find the encounters boring and lacking genuine challenge. The concentration of high-tier resources as well, like titanium and stravinium, are almost exclusively within these PvP areas, and it continues to funnel players who prefer PvE into the high-risk scenarios. So even with attempts to shrink the PvP footprint, which paradoxically can lead to more concentrated and unavoidable encounters, this is still going to be an issue for anybody who is not wanting to engage in this. Add the fact that most of the labs and crash ships can be put on timers and recycled like this every so often, just takes away any other chance for somebody to randomly jump in and possibly be able to get their hands on a lot of in-game blueprints and a lot of stuff that would come inside of those labs and crash ships. Now, for the PvE players, the deep desert has become a source of significant grief. A major misstep involved Funcom's accidentally reverting some designated PvE deep desert zones back into PvP, leading to a widespread loss of valuable vehicles, items, and bases, necessitating in reimbursements. Furthermore, resource availability in the PvP section has been severely nerfed, with reduced spawns and extended respawn timers of up to 45 minutes for crucial materials like spice, titanium, and stravinium. This makes PvE gathering feel unrewarding and often forces players into less than ideal PvP zones. Adding to this, reports of bugged spice fields appearing harvestable but obviously being empty, and players setting up bases directly on top of the resource nodes in the PvE areas further exacerbate the struggle for materials. The overall sentiment is that there's a distinct lack of rewarding PvE in-game with comparable incentives to PvP, making progression feel slow and frustrating for those who wish to avoid player versus player combat. Even basic navigation is hindered by issues like severe rubber banding, often resulting in vehicle loss, and a low draw distance that makes spotting threats incredibly difficult. The fight against illicit activities remains an ongoing combat for Funcom as well. It's a battle that feels perpetually uphill. Client-server hacks and third-party cheat engines continue to be a major concern, with Funcom continuously stating their commitment to fighting these, including issuing ban waves and even disabling features like Steam Family Sharing due to the abuse by cheaters that was occurring back on the 25th of July. Similarly, item duplication or duping exploits have been a persistent thorn in the side of the game's economy. Whether it's duplicating Solari at City Bankers, items at the exchange, or through various inventory manipulations, these exploits undermine fair play and the value of in-game progression. So to list just a few of the major frustrations that I've been seeing around the community lately is, for example, instant kills or bug spawns where sandworms are instantly killing players upon landing or without warning. There's also, just the random worm that's flying in the sky still, which isn't as much of an issue as, it's just it's supposed to be in the sand. There's also that broken grind loop where it just isn't feeling really rewarding for us to be out there doing anything right now, because once you go, you get your spice, you get your in-game materials, you build everything on your base, there's just absolutely nothing to do. And I believe that a lot of this was meant to be recovered through PvP activities out in the deep desert, but once again they've taken away half of the deep desert from the PvP realm, which has made it even more frustrating for that side of the community to enjoy the game and stay there longer. Of course, the PvEers are enjoying it a little bit more, but they're also complaining because now people are blocking nodes in the safe zone so that they can jump out into the deep desert past the E marker and be able to get stuff and bring it back without being destroyed by the PvPers. And of course, there's just the whole idea of PvP just trolling people, smashing people, killing people for no reason. And this is a very frustrating thing that I think Funcom did not clearly think through before they launched the game itself. There's also a lot of sluggish movement and too many tools. I mean, we have limited carrying capacity, and having so many specialized tools kind of gives a restrictive inventory space filling, and I think it's a very common complaint by people that I'm seeing out in the world. There's also all the broken promises and content drought, and just as I was saying, you know, this endless grind loop that doesn't have any kind of reward for it at the end. It's just nothing is being delivered to us at this point. In fact, the only thing of excitement content that I can actually really put a thumb on is they claim we're going to be riding sandworms pretty soon. But I mean, yeah, they said there's dungeons coming. Yeah, they said there's all this stuff, but I don't think they've even been able to settle on how to make the base game without all the downloads or extra content being put in work yet. So how are they going to make extra content work if they can't even figure out how to clearly implement what they've already done to a satisfactory level to keep people excited and interested in coming back to the game itself? Now, in summary, while Funcom continues to address these issues, the sheer volume of persistence of fundamental problems, from griefing exploits and environmental bugs to pervasive cheating, core gameplay malfunctions, and a general lack of engaging content, make it difficult to envision a truly smooth and thriving future for DUNE Awakening without significant sustained efforts and a clear vision for both its PvP and PvE ecosystems, or just the flat concept of splitting those two up so people can find the enjoyment in a way that was taken away or given to other people halfway through the season in the middle of a week. Let me know what you guys think. Do you believe that this game has the ability to recover from this drought which is occurring due to lack of sensible attention being put into the game in the right ways by the devs? Do you think that there are other issues out there which need to be addressed? Leave me some comments below. Let's get the discussion going and getting people out in the community more active and understanding what makes the game great and the things that are kind of destroying it. That way we can have a more unified voice to talk to the company Funcom about and hopefully make this game into a much better representation of what us, the community, want and not so much what they believe we want. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like and subscribe, and as always, have a great day.